I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. Welcome in, everybody. It is Thursday, August 21st, and whether you are watching or listening live or watching or listening later, thank you. Thank you for carving out some time with us today here on the Daily Puck Drop. And, of course, up at pucksports.com. Coming up on the show today, M's disaster. Fortunately, we have to talk about that one. Mike Garafolo back with us. He will join us in about 10 minutes or so, get the very latest with the National Football League. Brad Adam of Root Sports is back after that East Coast fun trip. And, of course, it's Thursdays. You get the live KJ-Arents with Mitch Levy from Mitch Unfiltered. Now, reminder, you get the full show during the live portion of the Daily Puck Drop. But once we're done, we edit it all out. And the only way you can go back and watch and listen to the whole thing is if you sign up to become a Pucks Posse member, which you can do so by just going to pucksports.com. If you have any issues, financial issues, let me know. Send me an email. We'll take care of you. Every day we broadcast from the Limback Lumber Studios. Are going to take care of you and all of your great lumber needs. Homeowners and you're doing your DIY projects, they got you covered. Contractors, they got you covered. Doesn't matter. Big man, small man, middle man, they are going to take care of you at Limback Lumber. Just give them a call. Tell them, I heard your company on Puck Sports and the Daily Puck Drop. They love hearing that. 206-782-3487. Can also visit them online at limbacklumber.com. You can visit me on social media on X and on Instagram and Blue Sky at Puck Sports, TikTok, Puck_sports, and you can find us up on Facebook there as well. All right. Unfortunately, before we get to Garafolo and we talk NFL, and of course the Seahawks are in action because they're in Green Bay for their joint practice. And maybe we just start talking football, take the misery off what happened with the Los Marineros. Just a craptastic East Coast trip. There was nothing that went right other than, hey, it was fun to watch them in Williamsport. But they come back home. They got an off day. Then they'll start a series with the A's and the Padres, 2-7 on the trip. They get swept by the Phillies. They didn't just get swept by the Phillies. They got absolutely destroyed. I mean, the Phillies just took it to them. I mean, in every single game, top to bottom, that entire lineup just murdered them. 29 runs and 48 hits in that 3-game series. They averaged almost 10 runs a game and 16 hits a game. There's nothing the Mariners could do against those guys. I mean, when you start looking at World Series contenders, and let's say the Mariners get in playoffs and they find themselves somehow in the World Series, that's a World Series team. With Duran, who they just acquired from the Twins, and of course the Mariners were in on him as well. And then for whatever reason, they couldn't put the finishing touches on that deal. I mean, that was like the 1-yard line. Many people thought that the Mariners had the deal to get him. How nice would he be in that bullpen, especially with what happened last night with the Mariners bullpen? It'd be great to have him, but they did not get him, and he shoved it last night, just like Luzardo shoved it on him, just like Sanchez shoved it on him. That is a complete baseball team, and they play in just an unbelievable environment in Philadelphia. And the Mariners got a taste of what postseason baseball is going to be like in that 3 games, and they failed, and they failed miserably. Luis Castillo and this pitching staff still have an issue on the road, and they've got to figure it out. They whatever it is, and I keep saying this, it has got to be something more than just, well, it's the ballpark is better at home and it's better to pitch. Okay, but they've had some success in the past, have they not, on the road? Why this year in particular have they been so very bad on the road? Every one of them except Brian Will. Every single one of them. And you get them away from Safeco, or it's always going to be Safeco to me, by the way. you get him away from Safeco, and they're a different beast, different animal. And Luis Castillo, Castillo was lucky to get through 4. Luis Castillo, in reality, should have been done through the first 2 innings, should have been out of the game. But they wiggled off so much damage and so much traffic in those first few innings. Jim and I are doing the show yesterday. We're kind of half watching it, as it's going on. And it was a miracle for him. I guess the only saving grace from the game yesterday was it looks like Eugenio Suarez is starting to heat up a little bit. Had the good game the night before, had a couple 3 hits, had his 39th home run last night, and it kind of came, and at that time in the game it was fine. It was still close. Julio continues his second half surge, hitting his 25th home run. Many people are going to look to the 7th inning and question Dan Wilson again on his bullpen use. And again, my thoughts on Dan Wilson are this. I think he's getting unfairly hammered for being, quote, this terrible manager. Also, at the same time, and Divish and I talked about it on Wednesday's show. Go back and watch and listen to it. I don't think that he's not without criticism. Also, keep in mind that he's just completed really a first full season of managing in baseball. And first-year managers are going to make mistakes. First-year coaches are going to make mistakes. Doesn't mean that he can't learn and can't get better. I don't think there's ever been a manager or ever been a coach in any sport that is perfect their first year on the job. If maybe someone's going to cite someone out there in the ether that was perfect. But he does have his issues, and his bullpen use is in question. I would push back a little bit on yesterday and just ask what else should he have done. I think there is one thing that he clearly should have done when it came to Saucedo is when Stott, I think it was Bryson Stott who had got the single. At that point he needed to get him out. He hit somebody. He's given up a couple of hits. He doesn't look good. And frankly, what was this, his second or third outing since like April? He's one of the more low leverage guys on your bullpen. It's still relatively close. Get him out of the game. You had Gabe Spire warming up. He was ready to go. Allow Gabe Spire to face the Turners and Schwarbers and Bryce Harpers of the world. That's a much better scenario than what happened by leaving him in there. And by the time he exited the game, it's 8-2. So I don't fault him for the decision to go to Saucedo there because of the thought process of that's the 6, 7, 8 hitters. He's a major leaguer. He's a reliever for a reason. He's up with the big league club. He's earned a spot. He should be able to get those guys out and keep you somewhat in the game. And he was unable to do so. They had no other options. They'd already used Ferguson and Bizzardo, and they didn't have Vargas was unavailable to them. This is it. This is why the importance of adding another arm at the deadline was key for them. And especially when Thornton goes down with the injury, it made it even that much more of a priority that they weren't unable to get. They got Ferguson, and that was it. But the decision to stick with him that long, yeah, that's an error on Wilson. Again, I think Divish probably said it the best. How many games has he lost them? Probably overblown. But to steal Divish's line, how many games has he won them? I think that's fair. Fair to question that. But again, what would have the other solution been there? To have Spire come up right then and there? He's going to have to use Saucedo at some point, or Lau. They have to go in the game. But that gets the decision of what Wilson did in the 7th. It takes away from, again, just another god-awful performance from these starters there on the road, which has just been it's been a tough thing to watch them all season long. They have struggled. All right, we're going to talk a little NFL, as we always do on Thursdays. This is Man on the Street. He is going to do. Are you going to do a walk? Or are you going to just sit? Because I can see Mike Garafolo in the green room, and I believe he's going to do I thought he was going to do a walk interview, but it sounds like he's going to sit down. Mike Garafolo joins us every week, brought to you by Hartley & Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the M's game. Zogs on Fox Island. Mike Garafolo from the streets of New Jersey, celebrating a Philly sweep over our Mariners.
I mean, I don't want to rub it in or anything. Don't leave me up. Don't tee me up like that.
Yeah, you do. You want to rub it in. That's why you sent me a text yesterday with brooms.
3 brooms.
You. F you.
Well, I don't want to rub it into your audience. I want to rub it into you. There's a big difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rub it into them too. They deserve it. I know your time is limited. Where
Yeah.
Are you on a walkabout?
No, I'm in town. I'm meeting somebody for lunch, and I just completely blanked and forgot what day it was and the time. Even though you confirmed the day before, like a professional. I'm a bit of an amateur here, so that's all. I just don't want to keep my guy waiting. But he's patient. He's like, yeah, do what you got to do. Puck?
Hey.
He's like, if it's Puck, don't worry about it.
Hey, don't worry about it. We will cut you. We'll get you out there on time. Hey, I want to bring this up with you. Trey Hendrickson situation obviously is a big topic of what the Bengals are going to potentially do with him. Will he be on the move? I think during the ESPN broadcast, or I think it was on ESPN, he had mentioned, hey, we're getting closer on something, but we're still, I think, apart on the guaranteed portion of the money. The Seahawks obviously have been mentioned. I bring this up. John Schneider was on the GM Journey podcast. Thomas Dimitroff, the ex-GM of the Falcons, and basically said, hey, to sum it up, I'm never going to do a deal where we send a bunch of draft capital to another team and that player comes back and then immediately sign them to a large contract extension. And that would assume that takes them out of Trey Hendrickson. And he's citing the 2 deals that he's done in the past. And the first one he did was Percy Harvin and how that backfired on him. And then the Jamal Adams one backfired on him. So where do we stand with Trey Hendrickson? Should I read into it that the Seahawks are out on him?
Well, I think a lot of teams are out on him if Cincinnati continues to maintain what they wanted and what they have all along. It's not like this has just been something recent where teams have been calling for months because they see that there's a guy potentially available. But you're right. The problem is you get draft pick compensation plus contract compensation. It's the same thing with Terry McLaurin. And you've got 2 teams that do value those guys. Now, they value them in their own way. And I do think that Trey Hendrickson, I think there's a slight difference. Trey Hendrickson would get a much better deal, certainly from a guarantee standpoint, with other teams, because other teams would be willing to do what the Bengals try not to do, which is to not put those guarantees into the second year and third year of the deal. They have done it recently for guys on the offensive side of the ball, and Trey Hendrickson's like, well, why aren't you doing it for me? Well, special instances we do that. Well, why am I not a special? I led the league in sacks. Like, why would I not be a special instance? So it's the Bengals. I don't understand it. It's archaic. It's dumb. Guarantee money into the next year of the deal. You clearly intend to pay the guy. You clearly intend to have all these guys that you do deals with around for multiple years. Just guarantee the money. Because you wind up only costing yourself money in a lot of cases because you then have to do a bigger overall deal. And then they earn the money that if you were just guaranteed in the first place, you could have had them for cheaper. I don't understand it. It's stupid. Archaic is the word that keeps coming up. Now, the difference is with Terry McLaurin, I don't think he'd get a much better deal than what he would get from Washington. So both of these guys, the teams are saying, we're not just giving these guys away. You're going to have to come with huge draft pick compensation. And then on top of that, then the team has to give a big deal as well. So that's why you've got some issues there with regard to those guys potentially moving.
So your prediction, though, he doesn't get moved.
McLaurin, I'm 100% sure.
Okay.
Hendrickson, I'm not. I can't get to 100. And things could change within the next week or so because something's got to give at some point here. But Yeah, I would lean more toward he stays, but I can't get to 100%. I'll put it that way.
And again, remind me what's the talk of the asking price in terms of draft picks
From Cincinnati?
Yeah, what are you hearing in terms of what they want?
Yeah, elite player. I mean, I don't know how you want to. I don't say elite or whatever, because then we get into the whole Joe Flacco elite. What does elite mean? I would say. It's a good to great player, or if not a first round, like they still value him from a first round standpoint, which is tough, which is going to make it really, really tough.
Okay. Well, I know maybe Schneider doesn't want to do it again based on what happened with Harvin and Adams, but I'd like to take another swing at a Trey Hendrickson, and that'd be great.
Yeah, but he's on the tail end of his career, right?
30?
Like what's that?
Is he with 30, 31?
Right, but if you're giving up, even if it's a high 2, let's call it a 2. It's a high draft pick to be giving up for a guy. You're going to get what, 4 years out of him? It's tough. It's tough, and then they got to pay him on top of that. Now, I would say this: if Micah Parsons and the Cowboys open that thing up, there's no problem. There's not no price, but no reasonable price that teams wouldn't be willing to pay for him.
And where do we stand with that? Since you brought him up.
Just, Cowboys are in some kind of standoff for some reason. I don't know why. This seems awfully silly. Just get the deal done. Why not just call David Mulugeta? And here's what I would do. Okay. Now, I wouldn't have done what they did in the first place, but let's say you drop me in helicopter and you just drop me in. I would go to the agent and start lower than what you think you agreed to with the player. Right? Start low. But just get the conversation going. Because then the agent will say, well, that's even worse that you try to get done with my player. Are you insane? There's no way. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, but at least you're rolling, right? And then you come up and then both sides get, but there's no dialogue. They have talked. They have talked. But, it hasn't been negotiations. There's been communication. I mean, it's not like it's been radio silence, but it's been quick, brief conversations. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not authorized to have that conversation. Because it's not like Jerry called. Jerry had other people call. I'm not authorized to have that conversation with Micah.
Hey, and remind me where Parsons is at. I mean, is he in a hold in right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this going to extend, do you think, into the regular season?
I think so. I do. I think so.
I think if the Cowboys these checks though, the players don't like giving away money.
Yeah, but he's pissed. This dude is pissed. He is pissed. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit.
What is his, what Cowboys make him available?
Yeah.
What's that asking price?
I mean, it's if you're going straight draft pick compensation, it's franchise tag type compensation, right? Like 2 first round picks, to that extent. Now, if you bring in a player, that obviously muddles it a little bit, right? Like, does the player replace one of the first round picks or whatnot, depending on who the player is. But it's 2 first round picks plus for that guy.
Good guy in the locker room.
Yeah, Micah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there were rumblings about how he was at Penn State, involved in some kind of bullying situations. I think that have been talked about, but no, I don't think you've seen any of that or anything negative. And guys got his back. Guys have got his back in that locker room, which is like, is there? Let's say you play without him week 1. You're playing without him. You're also playing with a bunch of people that are pissed that he's not playing. So it's like 1+ when it comes to the impact that of a player missing.
Well, sure. I mean, as a teammate, as a competitor, you want him on the field. You want to win games, and you know that he's going to help you win games. So, of course, they're going to be pissed. Yeah,
right, especially the way it's been. I mean, for months on end, you had no communication when all you had to do was call the agent to start the dialogue, and you refused to do it. It's crazy.
Were any of these announcements this week? It seemed like it all came out this week of guys that announced to be starting quarterbacks. This was like the starting quarterback announcement week.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of them surprise you?
Not a one.
Not a one.
Certainly not in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Wow.
Definitely not in Cleveland. I mean, that was like, we were halfway through camp and like, is this competition going to get started? I mean, Kenny Pickett's been hurt the whole time. So we never thought any of the rookies were going to start.
So who's the backup going to be in Cleveland? Because
that's a good question.
That's the biggest drama, right? It's not even Flacco. It's who's going to survive, Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders.
I mean, they may keep 4, at least for the start, and then see what they can do. Because if you want to keep 3 plus 1 on the practice squad, you're not getting those guys through to the practice squad. Somebody's going to claim them. I mean, they showed enough in the preseason to allow for a claim, especially because you got teams out there that are signing. Like the 49ers are signing quarterbacks. Yeah, Mac Jones was injured, but also their 3rd and 4th string, one's hurt and the other one is just not what they thought. I mean, there's plenty of teams out there that suddenly are like, you know what, we got spots. We'd be glad to take on Shedeur Sanders.
Are you hearing anything though of who they prefer between Gabriel and Sanders?
No, I think it's still a competition that's going to be ongoing. So I don't know. I mean, if you're asking me, I don't know. I don't have that answer. If you ask me who would, like, let's say Kenny Pickett was unavailable, who would be the 2 between the 2 of them? I'd probably lean a little bit Gabriel, but I don't know that for sure.
Did you believe that he didn't? Did you believe when he said he was not taking a shot at Shedeur Sanders when he did the interview on the field?
Yeah, he's not that guy. He is not that guy. I don't.
Come on.
No. No. And the tee up was along those lines, right? Like that. You can't just have the answer by itself and say, oh, in a vacuum, he just randomly took a shot at like Shedeur, called him a showman or whatever. So. No.
Yeah. But I would assume that Sanders camp believes he took a shot at him.
Of course.
We've talked a lot about. I was thinking about this week because I was just, I don't, for some reason, thinking about Charles Cross and whatever. Yeah, we've talked a lot about how they picked up his 5th year. They still have not reached a deal with him. It is interesting of all these guys from that draft class, 2022 draft class, which is a good draft class, by the way. That's Charles Cross, that's Boye Mafe, Ken Walker, Abe Lucas, Kobe Bryant, Reek Woolen. Shoot, even Tyreek Smith, their 5th-round pick, has been very good in camp this year. Their 7th-round pick, Derek Young's going to probably make the team, I think.
Yeah.
This year. None of them have contracts.
Yeah.
Is that odd to you at all?
I think. Is it odd to me? No, because it can still get done before the start of the season. And then it can also get done. We've seen these sometimes get done late in the season as well, right? Right before, a lot of times, the end of the regular season into the postseason. So, no, I don't think it's that odd. I think you've got guys that have played themselves into value, and they have certain numbers in their minds. I know some guys in that class that you just talked about. It seems like they think that they're worth a certain number, and the team didn't agree. And doesn't mean that something can't get done, and doesn't mean that price can't come down. I tell you this all the time. The day before Russ signed for, what was it, like 21 or 22.1 or whatever it was, he was asking for 30. So it can come down at the last second.
Hey, what is this story that came out from the Kansas City Star? For people who don't know this, so someone was firing bullets, a gun into the offices of the Chiefs facility, and Andy Reid was there. In fact, the one went into his office.
It's just nuts. What's happening? It's crazy.
Had you heard about this before the Kansas City had reported this? This is just wild.
It is nuts.
Scary stuff, man.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? We're not safe anywhere. We're not safe in the New York offices. We're not safe at the team facilities.
Huh.
It's crazy. Now, their facility, I haven't been there in a while, but it was at the complex there, and it's wide open, and you can kind of drive up to whatever. I mean, there are other facilities you could theoretically do it. I mean, it's not Fort Knox. It's not the White House, right?
Okay.
Like, you can get close to some of these facilities, and maybe we need to rethink the security around it.
All right. Where are you going for lunch today?
Vito's and Sons. Vito's is a throwback Italian deli. Okay. A lot of mozzarella on the sandwiches, and so we're my buddy's actually he's in the football world, and he's visiting for meeting some guys with the Giants and Jets for training camp. So I told him we'd get him a true Hoboken lunch for him. So that's what
okay. And what is that true Hoboken lunch like? What are you going to recommend to your friend?
Well, he actually made a good call. the Sigma sub, which is Sausalito turkey, which is the spicy turkey, mozzarella. I think it's got roasted peppers on there, a spicy mayo of some sort or whatever, spicy condiment of some sort. So, yeah, I've had it before. It's good. Good.
All right. Have a wonderful lunch. It looks warm and muggy there, and probably it is every day.
It's like 69 degrees. It's wild.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. This week has been incredibly cool. Tomorrow's gonna be back into the 80s, which is good. We need it. You know, you like the summer to be hot. I want to go to the pool. Going to the pool tomorrow with the kids. So.
You living your best life. All right, Mike. We'll talk to you down the road. Thank you, sir.
All right, pal. Talk to you.
There he is, Mike Garafolo, our NFL insider from the NFL Network. His weekly conversation brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Give my guy Jamie Hartley a call, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the game. Check out Zogs on Facebook and Instagram for their hours and event times. And again, the Mike Garafolo Show, all podcasts up on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, and up at pucksports.com, a part of the Daily Puck Drop. All right, we transition back over to baseball. Brad Adam joins us every single week from Root Sports. His weekly conversation is brought to you by John Howie Steak and Whiskey by John Howie. He is we caught him up with early this morning, as we always do, and he was working on about 2 hours of sleep traveling back from the East Coast. John Howie Steak, an experienced premier Northwest dining. Prime custom aged steaks, award-winning wine, unmatched level of service. You won't be disappointed. Make your next reservation today at johnhowiesteak.com. Well, here we go.
Don't sound so excited, Puck. Come on.
Hey, I'm excited.
You're getting me up early for this. I'm on East Coast time. It's like 5:30 or something my time. I don't know. My body.
I'm excited to talk to you. I wish I could just go treat you to one of those fabulous steaks that we just saw from those people having the time of their lives.
They're all having fun. They're all attractive, having fun. They all look like they're in great shape.
Number one restaurant in Seattle, ladies and gentlemen, John Howie Steak brings you Brad Adam of Root Sports every single week. Not to be outdone, Whiskey by John Howie as well, which of course features global selections of rare and well-done whiskeys. And I'm sure our guy, Brad Adam, could use a whiskey after that road trip. How does a whiskey and a steak from John Howie Steak sound right about now?
I could pound down a steak and a little whiskey. We had a little on the plane ride home to help us get through, Puck. Had a few cheesesteaks as well in Philly. Hey, did you hear about that? Let's talk about that to begin with.
Cheesesteaks in Philly, I did not hear. Give me the story.
Okay.
I've heard that the cheesesteaks in the clubhouse.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, go ahead. I don't want to beat you to the story.
No. The record of eating that they keep track, the clubbies there, they've got like this screen where they've actually have like headshots of people and the total. I mean, it's just right up there on this touch screen. It's really elaborate, really cool. And I find it somewhat hard to believe, Puck, that, Goldsmith did his research and had it on the air yesterday, telling the stories about the cheesesteaks, how many people, how much they eat in a day, in a series, a team, individual. They've got it all. They track it all.
What's the record?
The record from a guy who, was he with the Nationals, Mets? Nobody ever heard of him. Just a normal guy, like 6'2", 200, right? Not a huge guy. 10.5 cheesesteaks in a day.
Jesus.
Now, to be fair, he was on the taxi squad, Puck, so he wasn't playing, and he knew it, right? So he just leaned in.
Yeah.
And Goldie had one yesterday. He talked Gabe Spire into bringing him one from the clubhouse after the game. And it's like, it's a good size. I think, like, if you and I, if we could have maybe 2, and we would be done for the day. And to think that somebody could have 10.5, I don't know. And then, like, for the 4-game set, it was 25, I believe. A strength coach did that.
Good Lord. Well, the story is that I've heard about that before, but I've also heard that they are regarded as the best cheesesteaks in Philadelphia.
The clubbies?
Yeah. The ones that are in the Phillies clubhouse are like, everyone swears that if you want the best cheesesteaks, they actually are from that clubhouse. These are the things we talk about when a team goes 2-7 on a road trip and gives up 29 runs and 48 hits.
I tell you
in a
what,
series against the Phillies. My God, Brad, they couldn't get anyone out. It was just there was a disaster. There's not a break in that lineup.
No. Yeah, we talk about the Mariners being good 1 through 9, and they are. But, man, those Phillies, there was something special this weekend. I mean, I know they're hot, they're at home, they're playing great. I don't know if they're, that good, but that team looks like a World Series team to me. You got those 3 lefty starters. I mean, Zach Wheeler's their best starter. He's out. He's not going to pitch this year with that blood clot. He's out.
Yeah.
Aaron Nola is coming back, and he wasn't very good in his first turn back. So they go to these 3 lefties against the Mariners, really neutralize the Mariners lineup.
But that Sanchez guy was just
oh my gosh, struck out 12 easy. And the guy yesterday, Luzardo, struck out 12. Suarez 10. I mean, they struck out, I think 17 times yesterday, 15 times in game 2. They just couldn't touch him. And you're right, that lineup, man, Schwarber was amazing. Trey Turner had 10 hits in the 3 games. I mean, it was
5 hits in the finale.
Yeah, it was as bad as they've looked and been beaten in a series. I mean, the Mets were good. They took 2 out of 3, and they were good. But, you got Williamsport, and you got, other stuff. So you don't, I don't know. But then, that Philly team, man, that was solid. I mean. Well,
it's amazing they haven't lost any ground because the Astros, meanwhile, are getting swept by the Tigers. They're playing terrible baseball. No one can score. No one wants this damn American League West. I'll tell you that. They both have just said, we're good. Somebody else take it. Rangers, if you think you can do it, you take it.
But they can't either. They keep losing games as well. They blow game after game after game. You're right. I mean, anybody could make up some serious ground.
How does a team go from having that great homestand, the winners of 8 straight after they took that first game against the Orioles, and then look like that over the next, 9?
Good question. They ran into good pitching. And they don't play as well on the road. I mean, obviously, you look at the numbers across the board, they don't hit they hit a little better. But they did not this trip. Very inconsistent offensively. And the pitching, away from T-Mobile, the numbers are not good on the road. Starters, relievers, it's not good. And they did not look good. Oh, we got a little strobe light going here. Wow.
What are you in a dance club?
Apparently so.
What daughter's room are you recording today?
Daughter
the middle daughter's room.
Is that what she's installed in here?
She's into some strobe lights.
I hope
Do they put stars up on the ceiling still?
No, I do that. That was fun.
Of course, with the black light. I kind of want to bring it back in my room.
This one turned 18, so I don't know what she's doing here. Yeah.
Jeez.
We just discovered something about that. The light's fixed now.
She's off to college or no? This is her senior year.
Senior year, coming up senior, yeah. I got a senior.
Are they
junior.
starting school early? When did they start school?
Not till after Labor Day.
After Labor Day. Good.
But we took Hallie down, my college student, took her down last week.
Back to Tucson.
Back to Tucson.
Yeah. What do you mean? You were working.
I was in Baltimore, I think I was.
Yeah. How many? You've already looking ahead to Dad's weekend. When is that? So you can go play golf in sunny Tucson.
When's the sorority weekend?
Is she in a sorority, by the way?
She is.
Okay. Is she doing these? I can't turn on my phone.
I know, without seeing these.
Without these and frankly, I enjoy them. I enjoy them. These
we watch everyone.
These music videos these girls are doing. These are elaborate setups. I mean, they're choreographed.
Like hundreds of girls, yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy. Seems like it's all from the South, doesn't it? Texas,
there's a lot of
Georgia.
I follow some from Wazoo, and there's a lot from them are doing it. Right. But it is a lot of the South, and the South is putting some energy. I think they've hired an instructor. They've hired professional photographers and videographers.
Yeah. It's impressive, isn't it? Now, she's not part of that. That I know of.
Her house has not done a video yet.
That I know of, no.
Well, I bet you they have.
Now, that's no. Good.
Okay, we can move on. Yeah, it was just
rough.
A terrible road trip. And I mean, again, just the silver lining, I guess, would just be that they didn't lose anything.
I mean, they should be three games up, right? 4 games up.
But let's go back to the pitching here. I mean, you're going to probably just tell me the simplest explanation is the ballpark.
A lot of it, and the lineups they're facing.
Okay.
I mean, the Mets are a good lineup. The Phillies are a really good lineup. And the Phillies ballpark, I mean, that ball just flies. I mean, it's summer, the ball's going, Williamsport is just kind of its own little thing that was just, Kirby wasn't sharp.
Hated the mound. Hated the umpire.
Yeah. Julio, didn't track a couple balls in center. That's just a weird night, But, Baltimore didn't score a lot on them. It was just a bad trip. It's certainly offensively as well. Outside of that one game in New York where they put up 11 runs, it wasn't consistent. There wasn't there's too many strikeouts. And when they face lefties, they roll out the righty lineup. And Garver had a couple of home runs, had a couple of hits. He was fine on the trip. But you trade Solano for Naylor. Naylor was sick. Canzone was out, so you got Dylan Moore in right. It's not as good of a lineup. And it was just unfortunate you saw 3 lefties in a row, and they just carved them up.
Yeah.
But get them back home, get the A's in town. The Vetter Cup Monday, very excited about that. Can't wait to, maybe I'll get to present the trophy. I'm hoping, Puck. The guitar-themed trophy.
Some keynote speaker for the Vetter Cup Series. I was all excited this could be a World Series preview. They come back after this road trip. I'm like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs now. That's how glass half empty I am.
Don't say that.
I know, but that's how I feel. I'm just waiting for them to disappoint me. And it's miserable to feel this way. I know.
Even as bad as they're playing, though, at least the wild card, they're still there, and I still kind of like that. Though. But you got the Royals and the Guardians behind them. I don't
think the Royals are 2.5 games back.
I know. Guardians are right there too. I know, but I don't.
This the year where the Astros didn't have 2 of their best players are gone. Silver essentially hasn't played this year, although sounds like he's coming back.
But
this weekend.
Pitching. I mean, it's
this was the year to take them.
And it still can be, Puck. What do we got, 34 games?
34 games left. It still can be. Yes, it can.
Come on. How about that last road trip? Was it Kansas City and Houston? Those are wow. How about those 6 games?
Wait, say that again. Whose last road trip?
The Mariners.
The Mariners' last road trip. Oh, yes. Thank you. Sorry.
That's right, because if Kansas City's hanging around, those are 3 huge games. And you got, of course, Houston. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But it's this time of year is good. We went to... Baltimore doesn't have a lot of fans, but New York had over 40,000 those 2 nights. Philly had over 40,000 the 2 nights. The players even talked about the energy and the electricity you feel. That's what you're going to get these last month of the season, right?
That Philadelphia,
games, right?
that's like the best. That's like a football environment. That's like a home field advantage in baseball. I would venture to say I don't think there's anything else like it. In baseball, not like that. Maybe San Diego. I think San Diego. True. I think San Diego at home is like that, but Philly's like that. So yeah, it's an incredible scene. What was Williamsport like?
Puck,
your silence.
I got to be honest.
Said it all.
I'll be frank with you because I feel after these years I could be a little honest with you.
Yes, I want to hear it.
There was extra people on the trip, as you would imagine, from the organization.
Sure.
And there was not maybe space, maybe room for some of us. So some of us were encouraged to just go ahead and go to Philadelphia.
So you didn't go?
Did not go.
So you went right from New York just to Philly, had a few days off?
Just one. Just the
1 day.
Sunday.
So you were in... Can you just
took the train to Philly?
How did the conversation go? Hey, listen.
Kind of just like that. Hey, we've got some people here, there's
not
really any space.
You're not doing the game. It's an ESPN broadcast.
So
why don't you just get a head start like you're the starting pitcher? Yeah. Go enjoy a cheesesteak. Go see, Ben Franklin. Go check out the Rocky statue.
The Liberty Bell, which we did. And there's 2 statues now. I didn't know that.
I did not. And why don't you just have a good time? So
on us.
On you. So that's how it was done, huh? Did you want to? Did you know that ahead of time?
A good amount of time, not initially. Not initially. It was, I was kind of looking forward to it. I mean, I've never sniffed it when I was a kid. So,
couldn't you just gone? Couldn't they just got you something just gone on your own?
I mean, I guess I could have. Just take a bus or an Uber and just charge them.
Well, that's disappointing. It looked like a wonderful time. You could have been there reporting on the security guard almost taking out the ACL of Julio.
How about that? Can you imagine?
Oh my! I have thought about. You don't know. You don't know how much I have thought about that.
I mean, watching it
over
bad.
and over and over again, thinking,
like,
"Good God!"
There. Right? Wow.
Jeez.
That would have been bad. But no, all the guys really had a good time. They enjoyed it, except for the game,
Yeah.
But the complex itself, the field where they played was like a 15-minute drive away.
Yeah.
When they did all the low league stuff, it was really cool. They enjoyed that a lot.
It
cool.
looked great, and they were engaged. Julio was engaged, and it sounds like Cal was just a fan favorite for everyone.
All the kids.
Knowing that your temper, and speaking of baseball, and you have a temper. People don't realize that about Brad Adams.
You've seen it once or twice.
An immense temper, known for throwing golf clubs and probably bats when you were playing Little League Baseball.
For sure.
Judge Victor Robles' bat throw.
I didn't see it land. Did you ever see
we never did see it land. Yes.
I was told it was nowhere near the pitcher.
What if it had hit him?
Oh, then he would have been.
He's done.
I mean, done.
Right, he's done. He's done for the season.
He's done. I think 10 seems a little harsh. I think they'll get that down in the appeal. It's just a tough situation because, he needs at-bats. He needs to play. And for him to go up when he's activated, to go up and sit for another, 7, 8 games, whatever the suspension is going to be.
He can play as they're appealing.
Right now,
right?
he can play. He's in Tacoma playing.
But once they appeal and they give it, then he can't do anything.
Once he's activated to the Major League roster.
Yeah, but Divish was telling me even if they're not activated to the Major League roster, he can't even do the rehab games.
Oh, I didn't know. I think he can't. Well, Div might know more.
Maybe Divish was confused. Now
he might know more than me. But he cannot play once activated. He can't play in the minors or majors. He could work out with the team, before the game, but nothing. So, I mean, if maybe they arrange like some live BP for him, because then he won't be able to face Major League pitching since April. So that's going to be hard. And you play a man down. I know in September you can get that extra man, but there's still a man down.
Save the jokes, people. I don't want to hear the jokes that everyone has.
Okay.
Well, they've been playing a man down.
Funny fan base.
I think they can maneuver.
That's going to be tough.
The bigger question is the bullpen, and we talked about this probably at the deadline. And
they needed the arm in the bullpen.
Well, they got Ferguson, and they needed another arm to go along. And then it was right after that deadline. Then that's when Thornton goes down. So then you lose Thornton. And even with Trent Thornton, you needed to add another arm.
Yes.
And then they ran into that in the series finale against the Phillies because their starter couldn't work late. They're having to, and again, I know people are going to jump on Dan Wilson for the decisions he made in that game and all that, but he was trying to keep it close. He had Ferguson, then Brash had to fix Ferguson's, semi-mess. And then at that point, where do you go to? Vargas was unavailable. You're not going to use Munoz. You're saving Munoz.
Right.
Probably he erred in sticking with Saucedo too long after he gave up, I think, the single to who was it that he gave up the single to right before Turner? Anyways, he should have had Spire going.
One? Well, Spire was warmed up, and I think that
why didn't he go to? He should have
He was trying to get Saucedo through the bottom of the order, and once it didn't work out, once it was 3-2 when he came in, right? Once it got to I think 5-2 or so.
Yeah, that's when it's just okay. We're still in striking distance. Let's get him out. But I mean, he didn't, and then
right.
Did you catch up? I don't know if you didn't talk to Saucedo afterwards because he went to social media. I guess someone.
Yeah, I mean, I saw
a fan got on him pretty hard.
But that was ridiculous. I didn't see that until I got on the plane, and that was just obviously uncalled for and just. I mean, maybe that guy's not from Seattle. That doesn't seem like a Seattle fan. You know what I mean? That's just That's crass. I think
there's crazy fans everywhere. If people don't know,
true.
there was a direct message sent to Saucedo via Instagram that was threatening and, just vulgar things said to him after the game. And I guess if I was a professional athlete, I just wouldn't be on it.
No, I'd
get off it.
Yeah. I mean, he's really good, engaged, and he's fun with the fans. He's got a great personality, but you're right. Most don't, and it's not worth it. Yeah. So speaking of bullpen, hey, did you see that Duran guy for the Phillies?
It's pretty good. I want to know how it fell apart. I just want to know.
I know, but I know it was close.
Well,
but I don't
everybody's saying it's close, but what is it that they offered?
How about that guy
that the Twins turned down? Because that's exactly what they needed.
Yep, he could close. Obviously, he could be an eighth inning for Munoz. I mean, they just don't quite have that eighth inning. And Duran, because Brash, still working back. He can't go back-to-back days a lot, or he can't, pitch a lot. They just needed that one more righty power arm. But to your point earlier about the starters, if they go 6 or 7, then it's much easier to finish.
Dan Wilson's fault last night, though. Luis Castillo, these starters can't pitch on the road.
That is 2 starts. He ate 4 innings in New York, 4 innings in Philadelphia, and it's just not good. The velo wasn't quite there. It was not good. Yeah.
All right.
Not good.
Catch up on some sleep. Get yourself a steak. I know you're up. Maybe get a nap.
Steak and a whiskey. And then nap.
I watched a little bit, not all of it, but I'm going to finish it. Fairways and Fastballs.
Which one? The latest episode?
The one with Olerud and my guy Bucky.
Bucky and Dan Wilson.
Olerud, what a beautiful swing.
I mean, and he doesn't play much. Just like baseball, he just comes out and just.
Bucky's swinging out of his shoes.
I love Buck. Well, you got to in a scramble, right?
Yeah.
And when you're that big, you just got.
What the hell was? What's the contraption Olerud has? Is it a putter? That looked weird.
Very weird. And I held it. I was like, weird. It's like way forward press, but heavy, big. I don't know.
So Fairways and Fastballs out now on YouTube.
And on Root Sports every day.
And Root Sports every day. When does the next episode of Fairways and Fastballs come out?
Good question. September 1st, we shot an episode at Glendale Country Club with our old buddy Charlie Furbush, who's a fun golfer, and starting pitcher. Before he got hurt, Logan Evans, who was a lot of fun as well.
Okay.
Yep. We get to the story of the mock turtleneck.
September 1st. Mock turtleneck story.
Which he always
wears.
Logan
Evans.
Yep.
And Charlie Furbush.
September 1st. Yeah.
September 1st, Fairways and Fastballs there with Brad Adam. He joins us every single Thursday, brought to you by John Howie Steak, voted #1 restaurant in Seattle by the readers of Seattle Magazine. Book your next reservation today at johnhowiesteak.com. Also, whiskey by John Howie. Great whiskeys from around the world, and it's right next door to John Howie Steak. Get your whiskey, get your steak, then go back and get more whiskey.
Yeah, and say hi to us. We'll be there.
All right, Brad. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, man.
Again, big thanks to Brad for joining us, as he always does on Thursdays. And again, everything is always podcasted with Brad up on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. Brad Adam talking Mariners baseball with us every single Thursday. Again, big thanks to Hartley and Hartley Insurance and Zogs on Fox Island. Excuse me, that's not Brad. That's for Garafolo. John Howie Steak and whiskey by John Howie. Hey, but thanks to Zogs and also to Hartley and Hartley for Garafolo earlier today. Well, just following along from all the people that are in Green Bay right now, the Seahawks and Packers are having their joint practice, and apparently it has just been fight after fight after fight there in Green Bay as the Seahawks and Packers are doing the joint practice. You can follow along with everyone that's there. Bob Condotta, who's going to be with us in the fall every Friday. Michael Shandugar is going to be with us every single week as well during the football season. Things look like it got real physical after a Ken Walker touchdown. There was some pushing and shoving. And then immediately after that, there was, according to Michael Shandugar, who's on the ground there, Sam Darnold had thrown a touchdown pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Apparently, that Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba just had a real nice day. And then another fight broke out. There is multiple videos of the fights taking place. It looks like that the fight was between right tackle Zach Tom and Ernest Jones, the linebacker. I'm all for these joint practices and getting physical. When it turns into a fight, this is just the last thing that you want. And this is why people don't do these joint practices, because these teams are so pissed off of hitting each other during training camp that when they get somebody new to hit, and it's not in a preseason game, it's more in this practice environment, you get this. And the thing with, they cannot afford to lose Ernest Jones because Ernest Jones broke his hand or wrist or whatever because he's punching a guy with a helmet on. And that's what this turned out to be. He did break it. I'm not saying that. I'm just, what if he did? They got no depth there at the linebacker spot. I'm just wondering. I'll be real curious after this one is, because didn't they have an issue last year? Did they not? In the Titans joint practice, they not have a fight there too? I'm going to be curious to see how Mike McDonald reacts to after this. Will this be the last year of these joint practices that they keep happening, because it's 2 years in a row where they've gotten into a brawl with the opposing team? We'll have more on that probably later, tomorrow during the show when we hear more of the aftermath from the brawl between the Packers and Seahawks. But I would go follow Bob Condota on Twitter and also Michael Sean Dugar as they have been detailing it, what has been transpiring. It sounds like, just according to their counts, that teams look good. The offenses look pretty good. That Darnold and specifically he and Jackson Smith and Jigba were connecting quite a bit during that scrimmage and joint practice there with the Packers. All right. On this week's sneak preview of KJ-Arent with Mitch Levy, I finally pay off a bit. And I go visit Ivars just for Mitch. Now, remember, the full KJ-Arent show every week airs in its entirety during the live show. But the only way to watch and listen to it later is if you sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. So go visit pucksports.com. Enjoy this week's sneak preview of KJ-Arent. It's another edition of KJ-Arent's Mitchy the Kid, Mitch Unfiltered podcast. Mitch Levy. Hello, sir.
How's the behind the scenes? How's it going over there at Puck Sports?
I'm going to tell you, in the Limback Lumber Studios and the engineer, it's going terrible. I don't know. You and I, for just to take people behind the scenes, you and I have more technical problems, and it's on my end, but you're the only one I have issues with.
Really?
You're the only one. But nobody, minus Jim, but that's Jim's doing. But you're the only one I can't figure out what the issue is. And it's the funny thing is that it's you.
It's me?
It's you of all people that it's you. And I don't understand why.
Where's Kelly Lichtenwald when you need him?
Oh, my God, Kelly. Yeah, we're Terry Ryan.
Ryan could
I'll
help
take
us
a
out.
loud Terry Ryan right now. Who was it Silas? There was a woman in there.
DJ Silas?
Was she a producer or an engineer?
She was my producer. We
producer.
We found her at OJ's trial. Yeah.
That's wonderful. What do you mean you found her at OJ's trial?
CJ Silas, my producer. Somebody had hired her at the radio station to report at KJR day to day in LA on the OJ Simpson trial.
Come on.
No, it's true. And then we found out that she was originally from Seattle, Bainbridge Island, somewhere, CJ. People liked her, so we hired her. Okay. After the trial was over, we hired her to be my producer.
What a story.
Yeah, you don't know? I'm sure I've told you the story about when we went to Chicago for the 1995-96 NBA Finals, and we did the show from Chicago while the Sonics were losing the first two games to the Bulls, and CJ Silas was our producer, and we were on the air live back to Seattle for the morning show in 96, and I asked her to go do some man on the street segments in Chicago. I've never told you this?
No, I got it. I can't wait to hear it.
And she disappeared.
What do you mean she disappeared?
She never came back. She disappeared. My producer. So we sent her to do some man on the street segments.
Yeah.
And she went to first of all, Princess Di was in town. So she did the play-by-play of Princess Di coming out of the Lady Di coming out of the Chicago hotel. It's the first thing she did. And then she was interviewing people on the street. She went to like the Oprah show and interviewed people in the long line to get into the Oprah show. And she was supposed to come back and do the rest of the morning show, and she never showed up. And I started to get pissed, but I was worried and pissed, and I didn't know if I should be pissed until I knew if I should be worried. Like, did something happen to CJ Silas in Chicago? Wouldn't that be terrible? We take the morning show all the way to Chicago, and our producer just vanishes. Yeah. It's gonna be big news. She didn't come back for that show later that afternoon, nothing. And then early evening, I get a call from her, and she's like, I am so sorry. I ran into an old friend at like a jewelry store or something, at a store, and I started reminiscing about old times, and push came to shove. It just was it was a bad thing on my, I am so sorry. Just a miscommunication. And then about 2 months later, 3 months later, I'm back in my Queen Anne apartment after my morning show one day, and I'm taking a nap. And I wake up from the nap after the morning show, and I turn on the TV, and the TV is on the Oprah show where Lionel Richie is singing Dancing on the Ceilings. And Lionel Richie goes off the stage while he's singing at the Oprah show. Lionel Richie! And he's singing Dancing on the Ceilings, and he goes into the stands. He goes into the audience and dances with all the people and sings with all the people. And who's on my screen in the audience? Singing and dancing with freaking Lionel Richie.
Well, good for her. You know, she wanted the time away from you.
So I call Rockstar Bob Stelton of 710 ESPN or whatever they call it these days, Seattle Radio.
Oh, you know what they call it. Good
Seattle
God.
Sports Radio. I don't know what they call it.
Yes,
Seattle. Okay, so Bob Stelton, who's my producer engineer at the time, running the board for me at the time, who's now the star over there.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I need you to do me a favor tomorrow. And he said, what? I said, I want you to have Dancing on the Ceiling ready. Because at any moment, I'm going to touch my nose.
Yeah.
And when you see me touch my nose, I want you to start playing Dancing on the Ceiling. So I get CJ Silas into the studio at some point, maybe 7 or 7:30. Yeah. And we're talking about sports and whatever. And I said, hey, by the way, you never wrapped up. What the hell happened in Chicago a few months ago? You know, who'd you run into? And I get her to start telling the tale again. And as she's telling the tale, I tap my nose. And Rockstar Bob starts playing. He doesn't even know why I'm doing it.
No idea.
He has no idea. And he starts playing Dancing on the Ceilings.
What was her face? How red was her face?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was the most beautiful sight to behold.
That moment she knows she's caught red freaking handed.
Yeah.
And she has been bearing herself for weeks. God, and you just let her into it. You let her to the trap. Poor gal. She never saw it coming. How long after that did she probably quit?
Probably the next morning.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
No. She was great.
Survived a little bit.
She's a great lady. She's as I said, she lived in Bainbridge for a while, worked in Bainbridge Island, went to L.A. She was actually on a couple of game shows, as I recall, like the Match Game. She was on the Match Game at one point with Gene Rayburn. I may be wrong about that. She was on a couple of different things. She was very funny. She was very colorful, and she added a lot to our show. There, I did it. I did it.
You actually gave a producer a compliment, which is a
freaking
rare occurrence.
There's not a producer, maybe 2 or 3, that I wouldn't say very nice things about. Maybe a couple.
2 or 3.
Let's move on.
No, I don't want to move on. No. I'm gonna now before you hold your thought, because I did something you would have been proud, and yet you're going to be disappointed.
What's that?
So I paid off something for you yesterday.
You went to Ivars.
So we get done. I'm going to set this. We get done.
You didn't like it. You're going to tell me you didn't like it.
Done with football practice yesterday. It's a late one.
Yeah.
8 o'clock. Wife's out of town on business. I tell the kids, hey, we're getting in the car. We're driving over to, actually, we didn't get in the car. We
But it sounded good.
It sounded good.
Really,
But whatever.
You wearing a Redskins hat? What is that?
Oh, Redskins hats. It's a Tacoma Rainiers hat, for God's sake.
Yeah, I love the Tacoma Rainiers because I have a burner account. Go ahead.
So we go over to the Ivars. Do you know where the Salmon House Ivars is? On South Lake Union. Are you aware of that one? It's right kind of by the University Bridge. Or that would be
I'm aware of it. I've never been there.
So that's where we go. That's the closest one to us. And I'm all excited. We go over there.
Oh, geez. You're going to now. I don't want to.
I'm so excited. No. We get in there.
No.
Now listen. There's a restaurant. There's a restaurant part of that Ivars.
Oh.
There's a walk-up to-go place. Now, we always go to the walk-up to-go place because, now this is going to sound real snotty. We have a real crappy little ski boat. Okay? It's a real dumper little ski boat. Okay? So you can boat up to this place. This Ivars. You can boat up and dock to it, and then you get out and you grab the Ivars to go and you go back on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounded snotty. That's why I knew when it came out. Let's go to boat.
Wow.
When I tell you this thing is falling apart. Right? So we did that, and I'm all excited. I'm like, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to pay this bet. Not even a bet. I'm going to pay this bet off for Mitch.
Oh, no.
So we get out there, and it's a little cold last night. So I'm like, I don't really want to just go grab, but perfect for a chowder. So I'm like, all right. So we get around where the to-go place is, but it's closed. It closes at 9, and we just got there like at 9:05. I'm like, all right, we'll go inside the restaurant. We never go inside the restaurant. Maybe once.
Why would you? Why would you go inside?
The to-go place is great. You get your
guy of your caliber. Why would
you can't be seen. Although it was a great scene in there. Let me ask you a side question. When you go into a restaurant, the first thing I see, these 3 ladies are in there in thong bikinis.
What?
At 9:05 on a Wednesday night with cottage cheese asses. And I mean, not women that should be wearing a thong.
Why are we doing this?
Because I'm giving the people the visual of what I saw. The first thing I do is I open the door. I'm like, oh my God. It's a dump truck ass in front of me wearing a thong bikini. And I'm thinking to myself, what are we doing? What's going on here? What the hell? We're inside. Who walks into a restaurant?
Let me tell you who. Can little Mitch tell you who?
Oh,
Bobblehead Mitch. I'm going to tell you people who listen to your show.
They go
and want to try.
Yeah.
The red clam chowder.
So I get in there. So we sit down after we get my son's like, Jesus. I'm like, yeah, well, okay. my daughter's horrified. Like, who would wear this inside a restaurant?
Move on.
I'm looking at but the poor manager's sweating bullets because he wants to tell these people to leave, but he can't tell them to leave. Anyways, we sit down, we get our menus. I'm all excited. I'm like, open it up. I'm looking for it. There's the starters and the appetizers and the salads. I'm looking for the chowder, and I see clam. There's the regular Northwest clam chowder. There's the cup, the bowl, and then the bread bowl. And so the guy comes, he takes our orders. I said, hey, where is? I want to order chowder. Do you have the red chowder too?
No, don't tell me.
No lie, and I am not making this up. And I will send you a picture of said meal. So I want to make sure you don't think I'm lying that we went there last night. He looks at me and goes, well, we used to have it on this menu, but no one ordered it. It wasn't popular, so we got rid of it.
I get
the to-go place, they have it.
Okay.
But we don't have it. So I was like, I made the trip all the way over there for you, made the effort, was excited, was going to get the phone out. The whole
only one. Puckett, that's the only one that doesn't have. I can't vouch for them. I can't tell you why. I am very much Not surprised that nobody buys it, that it's not popular enough to keep. But
Why take it
I
off?
can tell you that I've gone to, since I've seen you, since you and I have been together, I've been to the Kirkland, Ivars. I went on Sunday in between recording my show. I had to get out, and I decided I'm going to get some red clam chowder. I sat there like a king, eating clam chowder with crackers and a little bit of shrimp inside it, and the red. It's fantastic.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go because the outside one has it. The walk-up window has it.
Fabulous.
So I'm going to go back for you. I'll do it again before hopefully we talk again.
Yes.
I will do it. But I'll tell you what, I did order the Northwest clam chowder, the bowl of it.
Never had it.
So there he is, another edition of KJ-Arent with Mitch Levy, of course, host of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast. Our weekly show airs in its entirety during the live daily puck drop. But once the live show is over, you must sign up to become a Pucks Posse member to listen to the full show. Go to pucksports.com to sign up today. You can also, if you are a member of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast, you get it, or you can sign up to become a Mitch Unfiltered patron. All right, before we wrap up the show, we have Hey What the Puck, and also in other news, some stories that we've missed throughout the day. Some comments from Mike McDonald after practice today, as the Seahawks and Packers were doing the joint practice, announced that Jalen Milroe will see all the time on their preseason game there against the Packers on Saturday. He also said they'll have an announcement, seems like next week, on who the starting offensive line will be. I mean, I think it's a pretty foregone conclusion that Jalen Sundell will be the starting center and that Anthony Bradford will be the right guard. And some promising news, but wouldn't expand his answer to it, but it sounds like they got a thumbs up on linebacker Tyrese Knight. So certainly some good news there. In other news, John Canzano just had dropped this story during the while we're on, and it's up there right now at johncanzano.com. And it's in regards to the Pac-12, another media partner. The CW network is soon to be revealed as the second piece of the Pac-12's media rights package deal. The linear network will air a New World Pac-12 games starting in 2026 through 2031. They joined CBS, which was previously announced as a league partner in June. John writes, the details and depth of the 5-year deal are expected to be formally announced as soon as next week. And he says the partnership provides a conference with broad TV exposure and is an expansion of the CW's existing 2-year relationship with the Pac-12. So expect to also see another partner, and John and I have talked about this, maybe Time Warner, the whole TNT situation, obviously we're losing the NBA. No really mention of ESPN, so we'll see if it doesn't sound like maybe ESPN will be a part of it. Speaking of college football playoff committee is going to announce its first of 6 rankings on November 4th using enhanced metrics to help evaluate schedule strength and how teams perform against their slate. College Football Playoff Committee announced yesterday. In the current schedule strength metric, more weight will now be applied to games against strong opponents. A new added metric of record strength will help the committee determine how teams performed against their schedule, rewarding those that beat high-quality opponents while minimizing the penalty of losing to one. These changes will also provide minimal reward for beating a lower quality opponent while imposing a greater penalty for losing to one. I don't know. It's all a mess. Here's the deal. Change it whatever you want. It's whatever ESPN wants. That's what they're going to get. We brought this up with Garafolo. If you haven't seen this story, a real scary story reported by the Kansas City Star. A bullet penetrated the glass of the practice facility office of head coach Andy Reid while he was working late one night by himself in his office. And again, the Kansas City Star reported this yesterday. Reid was unharmed. The Kansas City Police Department spokesperson told the Star that he was fine, but they continue to look into that situation. Gee, just an awful, awful situation involving Andy Reid and the Chiefs. All right, we wrap up the show with Hey What the Puck. kind of our last word before we hang things up here. Brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle, your restoration company. Lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. They are locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Or you can visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Interesting development last night as the Rainiers were taking on the Comets of Oklahoma City. They won the game 7-6. Harry Ford, I think, had another nice game. What was interesting in the game last night was the fact they had the Tacoma Rainiers introduced a new relief pitcher. And that new relief pitcher was Emerson Hancock. Emerson Hancock came into the game and pitched 1 inning of relief, gave up 2 hits, a run, walked 1 and struck out 2 in 1 inning of work. What was interesting is them using him as a reliever. Also, he was touching 97 consistently on the gun. They obviously need some bullpen help. We saw it last night in that game against the Phillies. They desperately need help in there. It's a failure on their part at the trade deadline of not adding another arm. They needed another arm in that bullpen, and they knew it, and they even talked about it. They admitted they could have added one more. Emerson Hancock could be an internal addition, and that certainly would help them out here in the regular season. Not so much will be a problem once they get in the playoffs because they will have a starter or 2 to use in their bullpen. But right now, they need help. They need a lot of help. They can't run out the same characters they're running out every single night. I'm intrigued to see what Emerson Hancock can do. I think Emerson Hancock has a future, whether his future in the big leagues is as a starter or potentially he finds a role here in the bullpen. Touching 97, pretty encouraging signs down in Tacoma there from Emerson Hancock. That's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. Give them a call if you have any damages to commercial or residential property. They're always available, 206-817-8917, or email them or visit their website, restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Thanks, as always, watching and listening today. Appreciate the support. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Limback Lumber, John Howie Steak, Zogs on Fox Island, Hartley and Hartley Insurance, Georgetown Brewery as always, and, of course, Restoration One. Please find today's Daily Puck Drop up on YouTube. When you're there, please subscribe to the channel. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms and up at pucksports.com when you're there. Please sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. You get added shows every single week like KJ-Arent's with Mitch, the Sports Pit, and also our MLB Insider Show there with Ryan Divish. Everybody enjoy the rest of your fabulous Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Friday's edition. We've got Chris Egan. One last visit with the Scout. And the go-to guy is back. We will talk to you tomorrow at 10. As always, till then, we promise, and I promise to be better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!